Want more ways to connect to the show? You can like us on Facebook to start with, facebook.com/married to the games, or follow us on Twitter at MTTGcast. Oh my goodness, 008. Kids and wives and 9 to 5s, but we are married to the games. 2 months strong. I can't believe it. It's your boy, Gabe Patillo, of course, with Tim Router and Timothy Hall. And we are back at it, man. Another podcast. We are happy to be here. Thank you guys for listening. So let's get into it. Timothy Hall, how was your weekend?
Pretty good, man. I got into some more Borderlands 2 over the weekend, and the story, I'm getting pretty close to the end. That's why I'm kind of trying to hunker down on it before all this new stuff comes out.
Right.
The story has gotten like really, really good coming into the end here, and I kind of want to take back something I said probably about 4 episodes back, where I said that you can go ahead and jump into 2. You can, but playing through 1 makes the story of 1 a lot more meaningful, even though it's kind of a flat story.
Oh.
Just because of all the developments in 2. And to be honest with you, I recommend playing 1 first now.
There you go. Okay.
Oh, that works.
Well, I'd like to hear that. I'd love to hear that.
Well, it makes the story in 2 a lot more meaningful, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's really kind of crazy how it works, because in 1... you can select from 1 of 4 characters, and then when you play through 2, you encounter each one of those characters, so those characters play a role in 2.
Nice.
So I guess depending upon, who you play in 1, the story could mean something different for you. It's kind of crazy.
And you're playing Commando, right?
Yeah.
Or you're not the Berserker or anything. No, that's a...
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Every other class seems to have like more magic. I guess more like magic-based abilities.
Oh yeah.
Like,
sure.
and I don't want to say magic because the game's not really. It's not that kind of game. It's not World of Warcraft, but it's kind of a mock MMO, and every other class has special abilities, whereas with the Commando, really you're just your guns. So it's like, it makes the game more fun to play as a different class, but I just went with Commando because that's kind of how I went with the first one.
Right.
Did you guys hear about the thing that was going on with Borderlands 2 on the Xbox? Now, I'm playing on the PS3, so I haven't experienced this, but on the Xbox, apparently people have found an exploit where, I guess if you get into their game, it'll erase your character.
What?
Did you hear about this?
Oh, I also heard that it would that you could get like max points too. You can trick it so that you get like all these max points too.
I didn't hear about that one. I just heard about the exploit. It's some kind of one life mode. You know what I mean? Kind of like in Diablo, how they have the hardcore mode, I guess.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
To where you only get 1 life, so if you die, you just lose that character.
Oh wow.
Well, apparently when they were making the game, they kind of built that into the game thinking we may use this, and at the last second, I guess they just turned it off.
Huh.
So apparently people hacked into it and found a way to just turn it back on with third-party tools. So it's
Wow.
kind of
Those
a big
Windows
problem.
guys. Those Windows guys are always up to something.
Well, yeah, and I've only ever experienced that really on the Xbox. There may be cases of the same thing going on PlayStation. I'm not sure, but like for instance with Xbox, I rebought Modern Warfare 1 probably about a month ago, and or no, it wasn't a month. It was closer to maybe 3 or 4 months ago. And the first thing I did was like, I'm going to go check out the online and see if it's still going. It has gone nuts.
Yeah.
Like with hacks. Like I got on there and there was this, I remember a multiplayer stage on there where it was like raining.
Mm-hmm.
I logged in and it was like that was the first stage it sent me into, and like the whole stage was just like different color palettes and people were flying and stuff. Just like,
Oh,
what
good
the
Lord.
heck, dude?
Yeah, Wonderland.
That
all
is
of a sudden.
insane. It looked like Counter-Strike like 3 years ago, like the regular Counter-Strike,
Oh,
where
I used
people
to
were
love that
installing
game.
hacks and stuff. I mean, man, it looked nuts.
That's
Patch.
crazy.
Patch that up, people.
No, man.
No, they're not
they
going
just
to patch that up.
They just let it go, man. That's
Yeah.
such an old game. They're like, I think they just let the hackers have it.
That's a trip.
Golly.
So you're playing Borderlands 2, and then have you touched Dishonored again at all?
I haven't re-rented it. No, I mean, I just bought. Funny thing is, like, I came, and this was after Sunday night. Like, I came back in from work, and I was like, man, I've got to pre-order Halo 4 because I know my brother-in-law is getting it, and I want to be playing it with him, multiplayer. So I went ahead and went and looked at the deals on it, and Dell had a Dell actually sells video games. I didn't even know. They had a pre-order deal with it where you got like a $20 gift card, and I was like, well, shoot, I'll just do that.
To Dell, like a $20 gift card.
Yeah,
to Dell?
$20 gift card to Dell, and I was like, you know what? Worst case scenario, I can get like a $20 PSN card or a $20 Xbox card, or something. So I mean, it was kind of cool to get that for free, but
yeah, that's really cool.
Well, it was just funny because my brother-in-law texted me later on, and he was like, yeah, we're waiting out, for the midnight release, and I was like, that's one of the things about, waiting and getting the deal is like, other people are playing it 2 days before you are, but, got to do what you got to do.
I know.
It's all going to catch up to everybody. There's going to be a few people who are going to play it first, but then everybody plays it, so
yeah,
it's just the excitement.
I was going to say, speaking of Halo, I'm drinking Game Fuel right now, so yeah,
beautiful.
In the spirit, I guess.
Yes. Happy Halo 4 to everybody today because of its release, so that's good.
Vote Master Chief.
Yep.
Red or blue? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, red or blue.
Awesome.
Router, how about your weekend, buddy?
Man, it was good to see you guys on Halloween. We all got together.
That's right.
We had a little bonfire outside. We try to do that every year where we set up. I have a little fire pit, and in our driveway, we kind of line our driveway with some lit up candles in a bag, and then we have some food out, some candy, some snacks, and we just get all the trick-or-treaters in. And it was good to have all my boys with me and see all the wives and the babies, and it was a lot of fun. So Amara was really cute, boy. Gabe. She was really cute as a ballerina.
Oh man, well yeah, I was trying to keep up with that chicken that you had. That was hilarious.
That's all Mama. Mama was stitching like a feather boa onto a stuffed onesie like the night before. But yeah, she looked.
Yeah, I cannot believe she made that. Yeah, that was incredible.
Yeah, she was really cute. So yes, Piper was a chicken and our dog Maggie was a pig. But yeah, man, it was good.
Kind of a pig.
Well, yeah. Yeah,
she was more like a pig sliding off her back.
yeah. That costume was weird. We got it at Target, and like that pig head was like sliding off to the side, so it looks like she had like two heads. It was weird, but it was good hanging out with you guys, and then this weekend just did some work around the house, got it all kind of winterized, and got rid of all the dead stuff that was around the house, and pretty much did like 6 loads of laundry, and had a productive weekend, and got a little Assassin's Creed 3 in, and yeah, it was good, man.
Yeah, how you feeling about it? How you liking Assassin's Creed? Is it good?
Yes, it's really good, and we can talk a little bit more about it in a little bit, but yeah, I'm liking it so far, and I mean, I'm just a big fan of that whole collection, so I'll always be an Assassin's Creed fanboy, so it's great.
You played a little bit for us on Halloween, man. That game is beautiful.
It really is. It looks gorgeous, and it gets even better from there. So it's really, really cool. And I've got a few news items for that I want to talk about later. But Gabe, tell us about your weekend, my friend.
Oh man, mine was fine. We did the whole Walt Disney thing.
How did it go?
It was cool. It was interesting because it's such a different thing. And obviously it's November. And so to be doing something for their Christmas special, was awkward. Number one, because it's November. Number two, because it was 95 degrees out.
Oh.
And, we're all trying to look like we're bundled up and everything like that. And I was sweating so bad. I was like, this sucks. I was like, this is not even close to what winter is supposed to feel like. But it was cool. It was weird. It was, it was us and the Backstreet Boys.
No way.
So it was weird, like seeing because what happens like when you perform at Disney or if you just have the money, you can go to Disney and get, a guided tour. You know what I'm saying? You get to walk up the exits and exercise kind of like all the fast pass options and things like that. And so it was just weird because it was like my little group of guys. Toby didn't come with us. So, obviously it's, 5 guys that nobody knows walking around, and then we'd like pass a Backstreet Boy and then pass another Backstreet Boy, and they were kind of doing the tours while we were doing the tours, and I was like, this is really, really weird, like that we're here on the same day as these guys. But it was fun, man. It was, it's one of those things that's outside of our comfort zone. We don't do a whole lot of television, but this year, God bless us with letting us do some stuff like that, and it's been fun. It's definitely like a nervousing kind of thing, like just to do it, and you're like, man, this is gonna be on TV, and TV is so unforgiving when it comes to vocals and things like that. But it was fun, man. We after it's over, we're always like, man, I'm glad we did that. Like we're really nervous, but I'm glad we did that. So
I'm glad we sweated out and did it.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a lot of flying. We flew, obviously Disneyland's in Anaheim, California. So we flew to Anaheim, did Disney, flew home yesterday just for us on Thursday to fly back out to Ontario to start Winter Jam. So a lot of flying. So I haven't actually got to play much PlayStation, but I'm addicted. I don't know. It's a strange way I'm addicted to Plants vs. Zombies on my iPad. So
nice.
That's what was going on the flights.
Yeah, I meant to ask you that since we were talking about mobile games last episode. What all are you guys playing right now? Well, clearly we know Gabe's playing Plants vs. Zombie.
Yeah.
I want to wait to buy more mobile games until I get an iPad, because
that's good.
I just hate playing them on a super small screen where your fingers are covering up the screen as it is.
Yeah, right. And I've got meaty thumbs, so it's like I'm playing this game Zombiewood right now, where it's really cool. Like you're this guy that just kind of goes around and shoots up zombies and blows up sets, and it's fun. But like the controls are, it's a landscape, and the controls are down at the bottom, and like my thumbs are going halfway through the screen, so I can't see what I'm doing.
Man, I'm telling you, man. I found another thing today. I need to find the name of it. I think it's just called 6-axis controller, and it might be for Android. You guys are both iPhone guys?
Yeah, we both have iPhones.
Yeah.
Well, this is an Android thing for my Droid people out there. It's called 6-axis controller, and it lets you connect a PS3 controller to your Android handset, and so you can play your games with your PlayStation 3 remote, which obviously I have one of them, and so I'll probably be working on that. They say it's not the easiest thing to plug up and get going. And you have to have like a rooted phone and everything, but I root all my phones anyway, and so I'll be getting that shortly.
That's really cool.
One more device you can put your NES ROMs on.
Yep.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Well, man, let's get into. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, my wife has an iPad. I don't, so I just still have an iPhone 4 actually. So honestly, most of the games that I play are either the strategy games like Words with Friends. I play the crap out of that.
Yeah.
And I play a lot of Zynga poker too. I just love it. It's just like I play at least, like, even if I go all in and I have like a 2 and a 5, I just do it just because it's fun. And and you play with all these different people, and yeah, I've been playing that for months.
Well, Timothy Hall was telling me you were telling me about, what was it, Baldur's Gate?
Yeah, for the iPad, that should be great.
It's coming to the iOS, right?
Yeah, that should be super good.
Definitely be getting that, because I never played those games or Diablo or things like that. But like, I was in a clan with a guy that was like, he was #1 in the world for Diablo 2.
Wow.
And so I never actually got around to playing it because I was like, oh well, I know this guy and he's the best, so that's not fun. So I need to go back and play those kind of games just because I never have.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's worth a shot just to try it out. Like, that's, like I said, just another big reason that I'm gonna wait to buy any more games until I get an iPad. Because kind of like how, to add to what Tim was saying, my favorite games to play on the iPhone are like kind of just games that don't require quick, fast action. You know what I mean?
Checkers.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if I'm playing an iPhone game, I'm playing Words with Friends or Bookworm or just like PopCap games, not something that's going to be like, a first-person shooter on my iPhone 4.
Yeah. They had Dead Space 2, I think, for iOS like a couple months ago, and that was for the iPhone. I'm like, there's no way I'm playing Dead Space on an iPhone. I'm just gonna die every 5 seconds because my thumbs are gonna be in the way.
Yeah, I felt the same way about when I saw like Mass Effect Infiltrator was on sale.
Yeah.
on the iPhone, and I was like,
You're like, that's all
I don't
right.
really want to do that. Yeah.
You can always get that iPad Mini that's out.
Hey,
Yeah.
not for nothing. And me and Timothy Hall ripped Apple up and down a couple weeks ago when we were talking about the iPad Mini and the price. I went and put my hands on an iPad Mini today. I mean, that thing's kind of slick, man. I'm not. I'm not saying I'm gonna get one.
Are you eating your words?
I'm not saying I'm gonna get one, but
Okay.
After that podcast, I was talking to my wife and I was like, yeah, I was telling the guys that you would have wanted to get one if it was $250, but you wouldn't really want to get one at $330. And she was like, yeah, she's like, I just don't see why I would need one. Blah 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 blah. I tell you what, we picked one of those up today, and she goes, yeah, I might want one of those. I was like, see, I knew it. It's just too slick, man. It does. It fits in your hand well, and if you're holding it portrait, the typing's not going to be too crazy and stuff like that. So, I'm not going to get one. I can't get one, but it was just kind of like, it was just a little nicer feeling than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, I'm sure it's great. Like, I'm sure they can justify, I guess the price point that they're at. We were just all kind of hoping for something a little cheaper so we could just jump at the chance to get it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Oh, I totally agree with you guys on that episode, though. Like, if they had brought that price point down to below $3, they would be cleaning house right now.
Oh, my gosh.
Even if, it would be insane. Because now there's rumors that Microsoft is doing an Xbox tablet, the Surface.
Yep.
And it's supposed to be designed specifically for gaming, but of course Microsoft's not saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I don't know. It's a 7-inch tablet too. So who knows? But I don't know. I still think it'll probably be pretty good. And it's fourth quarter holiday season, so I'm sure a lot of people are going to be getting them.
Yeah,
so we'll
sure,
see.
of course.
When you say Xbox tablet, that kind of makes me a little uneasy, I guess, because when I think Xbox, I think first person shooter. I think action game. When I think of tablet, I think of more strategy-based games, kind of like how Gabe was saying, Plants vs. Zombies. I think of games like that. It's like they were wanting to do an Xbox tablet. It would kind of be a non sequitur to what games are popular on Xbox.
Right.
That's what I think, anyway.
I'm with you.
I got to say one more thing before we get into news and current events. And this is the dad coming out in me, so I apologize, but this is kids, wives, and 9-to-5s. But Amara took her first steps tonight, actually. So 13 and a half months old, and she is trying to walk and took her first step. She took like 15 steps back to back tonight. So it was like, that's pretty crazy for us. We're like, oh, shoot, our baby's about to be walking. So that's crazy.
It's time to get a leash.
Yeah, exactly.
Congratulations, dude. That is insane.
Yeah, I know. It's stupid.
Little girl is
it's
walking.
Definitely stupid.
That's awesome.
Timothy Hall, hit us off with something.
What do you guys have for your TV service? Do either of you have anything?
I have Charter, and I use Hulu and Netflix.
I'm Comcast all the way.
Yeah, I've got Comcast too, just because they kind of have a monopoly in my area.
We don't have the option.
The reason I was asking about it, though, we don't have an option. With Comcast, man, the Xbox gets pretty sweet. Since we put it in the office, I've been when we have our Comcast, like our cable service hooked up to our TV in here, but I've got the Xbox hooked up too. Well, they got the Xfinity app on there.
Right, I heard that's amazing.
Yeah,
it's pretty awesome because you can just watch anything. Like, I don't have to wait for a show to come on. One example I was thinking about. Somebody had mentioned that show Comic Book Men and said I would really like it. Mm-hmm. Have you guys heard of that?
No. Oh, yeah.
What's it called?
It's on AMC.
Comic Book Men?
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know what channel this is on. I don't know nothing about the show. So I just went to the Xfinity app and I searched for it, and it had like 4 episodes for me right there. And I was just like, perfect.
Right. That's all you need.
It was perfect use of it. I watched all the episodes and I was like, this is so convenient. Like, Comcast, like, the thing that always made me like kind of hate using Comcast's on-demand service is that their cable boxes suck so bad.
I mean, they are bad.
I mean, all of their boxes, like all their boxes are built on like at this point, basically 10-year-old technology. They suck. The interfaces are terrible.
I mean, they're so
right.
ugly. I know nothing about graphic design or anything like that, and I feel like I could have came up with something better.
Oh, yeah.
I know they're horrible to use, but using the Xfinity app on Xbox, it's like it adds so much more value to my cable, because we were thinking about canceling cable, and now it's like, now it's like perfect because I have that functionality, and it's such a good value for me. It's added value to my existing service.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's better too when you're out and about and you forgot to record something. You just go right on there, and I've got my DVR all set up, and I can just hit record, and it'll sync it with the DVR. It's just perfect.
And can't you stream Xfinity from your iPhone and stuff too?
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think so.
Well, I know you can do it on the iPad. I don't know about the iPhone yet.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I might have misspoke, but I thought you could.
It adds even more because I called up Comcast the other day, their retention. As I said, I was thinking about canceling. I called them up and I was just kind of talking to them about it, and they were like, well, we'll give you Showtime and HBO for free. And I was like, okay, that'll be good.
You're a sucker.
Well, I was going to say, so like on the Xfinity app now, it's like I have access to all of Showtime shows and HBO shows, and it's perfect. So,
Yeah, it's really cool. That happened to me though. I called Comcast because my bill was just getting higher and higher, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're on an old package. We'll just slash that in half, and here's you get an additional year free of all the major movie channels." I'm like, "Okay, where was that phone call like 6 months ago?"
You know what I'm
no,
saying?
they don't call you. You have to call them. I always do it.
Exactly. So
like every time my promotion ends, I just call and get a new one.
Oh yeah. So it's great. So I'm like, yeah, I'm doing this every year now.
Golly, I know that's right. Yeah, it makes it so easy when it comes to that kind of stuff. I have a question for you guys. I've been seeing this a lot lately. I feel like it's been coming up all over the place. What do you guys think of KickStarter gaming? So we all know KickStarter is the website where if you got an idea or you want to sell something or you have art or you have an album you're trying to make, you go on Kickstarter.com, you make a plea, and people pay for your whatever, and in return you give them, a CD and a signed thing, a dinner with you if they give like 10 grand. And a lot of games have been popping up lately. Like the Android box that's coming out. Is it Android? Yeah, the Android box is coming out.
Ouya or whatever it's called.
Ouya did 7 million on Kickstarter.
I know, and so it's nuts. And there's these people that are getting money hand over fist for these games and stuff like that. And I was just wondering from you guys, like, do you think and I know me and Hall probably wouldn't because we're freaking cheap, but like to give money towards a game that you can't see, can't play, can't try, and just in the hopes that it'll be good. Like, I wonder what's
in the hopes that it'll even come out.
Yeah, what do you think the draw is for that?
Honestly, I think it might be kind of an within the industry kind of a thing, because we've seen so many game software development teams lose their jobs in this past year. I mean, there's been a lot of closures with different developers.
Oh yeah,
and I have a feeling that some of these people might be starting to go that route, but I know I probably wouldn't do it, because unless it's a game that I know I would, on paper, I know would kind of fit my style of gaming and what I like, there's no point. I mean, that's why we have demos, right? So we can see what we're doing and see what games we like and what we don't like. But it just seems more like, as a lot of these gaming developers are losing their jobs, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if that might be an avenue for them to try and stretch their legs out and try and regroup and be like, okay, well, we didn't make it here, but we have less, either corporate constraints or less constraints, so we can do whatever we want, and this is what we want to build. What do you think? Will you give us money?
A lot of it stems from smaller collectives too. Like, it's, if a couple of guys get laid off from a developer, and then they're like, well, shoot, the 5 of us can make a game, and then we'll split it 5 ways.
Right.
If they were to get funded at, let's just say $500,000, and they work on it for 2 years, that's $50,000 a guy.
Yep.
That's pretty quick math.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, it was $50,000 a guy per year. So
It's just one of those things I thought was interesting because even we've seen in the music business, especially being in Nashville and being a part of this whole thing, seeing, okay, I know this band is signed to a record deal, but they're still on Kickstarter because, the return is greater, because when you don't have to put out any, there's no, what do you call it? There's no risk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? From the record company or from these video game makers. So I just thought it was really interesting that some of these things are taking off and, hitting their marks on the first day. I'm like, what do y'all even know about this game? This game could suck. You know what I'm saying? It could, it could be full of flaws and, and things like this. And I was like, man, that's interesting that stuff is kicking off so much.
Well, I've heard a couple stories about games not getting made, like games that were funded through Kickstarter and have just ceased development. Right. I wish I could remember which ones they were, because Kickstarter is not like a guarantee pre-order. It's just it's a funding utility, if you will.
Yeah, and they're trying to crack down on that. It's a way for people to get
funds.
They want to crack down on that, but I don't think there's a way to perfect it yet.
Yeah, I think people saw the success of Ouya, and I think they're trying to ride the coattails of something like that. I mean, that's a totally, to me, that seems like a category in and of itself, because this is a new console altogether. It's like trying to compete with the heavy hitters. So I think a lot of people are interested because of the lack of next gen consoles now. With games, though, it's so selective. So you don't know anything about the game. You haven't seen it developed. You can't test it out, but I'm going to give money to it. I don't know. For music, I can understand, because if I'm a fan of a band, I'll probably support them on Kickstarter just because I'm a fan. And that might be, that's probably a good way for bands who are maybe more independent, who don't have as much cash flow, or, that they're signed to a label, but maybe the label's not doing what they want. That's a way for them to really expand their fan base and get that stuff working. So I think that works great on a music side of things.
Yeah, the band thing makes way more sense to me than the video game thing. I'm like, sheesh, Luis, that's a hard sell for me.
Yeah, you look at the band thing, and I what was it, 5 Iron Frenzy?
Oh,
remember
gosh.
that?
Yeah, they were one of the first ones to kill it.
They got more support through their Kickstarter than I think they ever would just going through a label and releasing a new album.
Yeah, and they had to have been shocked.
Yeah, they were definitely shocked.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Router, you got anything for us?
Well, I know Ubisoft isn't going anywhere, and they're not laying off anybody, because they they estimate that they sold $3.5 million of sales for Assassin's Creed 3 in the first week. That's what they're projecting right now. And the Wii U version is out November 18th, and the PC version is out November 20th. So I think they're going to clean house a little bit.
Yeah.
Did you hear it was the biggest launch of the year in UK?
It was?
Oh, really?
Yeah. An American history game was the biggest launch of the year in UK.
That's awesome.
And I say American history lightly because, I'm sure that
it's hardly
changed
history.
A lot, but
they use some.
Hey, it's as history as Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh, I wanted to see that movie.
I did too. I read the book and it was great. So I'm still probably going to watch that movie at some point.
I know that's right.
We should just all go see the real Abraham Lincoln movie and just hope that he just busts out killing vampires.
I'm definitely seeing that.
Daniel Day-Lewis busts out an axe and starts chopping people. That'd be
exactly.
Great.
Hey,
I'm looking forward to that movie.
Was it $3.5 million or 3.5 million units? I have no idea.
No, $3.5 million. That's what they're estimating first week of sales for Assassin's Creed 3. And okay, so I've been playing it, and I am so far behind. I am just now being Connor at a teenage level. That's how far back I am. So I'm sure I'm not spoiling anything for anybody, because everybody's probably blown past me and probably completed the game already. But here's the thing: like when it comes to these kind of games and these 100% in Assassin's Creed, if nobody knows, you sync the memory and you have these different options, and if you do all those options, you get a 100% sync. It's kind of like, how you go trophy hunting and you want the platinum trophies all the time. I'm the same way when it comes to syncing. Like, I want 100% all the time. So I've restarted and replayed memories just to get the 100%. And I have one that I missed out because I ran out of bullets, and it's killing me at night. I'm like, I've got to go back and do this. Yeah. Oh yeah. But and that's just the completionist in me.
Yep.
But so my router's overall review of Assassin's Creed 3 is it's beautiful. I'm going to play it. I will probably play it again. I know it's been getting some mixed reviews. And in fact, I listened to another podcast, the Podcast Beyond guys over at IGN. And one of them, Colin Moriarty, he played it, and I don't want to say he crucified it, but he was kind of upset with how things worked. And there's actually a couple points I totally agree with him on. And one of them is controls. And I think, and Gabe, I don't know if you've started, I let you borrow Brotherhood. I don't know if you've started it yet, but the control aspect of it just feels a little loose at times. So, and the problem is that you have a button that can be used for both running fast and jumping. So when you're in kind of a more stealth mode, and you're running to get to the next hideout, I'll accidentally hit the button, jump over something, and then a guard sees me, and then it's done. So the control feels very loose. However, I will say the combat side of things seems it's definitely cooler than previous Assassin's Creed because you can block more, and now they do this stop pause when you've done a good block, and you can counterattack and kill the person, and you just have to hit a button and it happens. So there's aspects of that I found a little frustrating, and honestly, even some of the sequences are frustrating because some of them are stealth. They require you not to kill anybody, which Hall, you're completely out because you just go in with guns blazing anyway. So those sequences I think those sequences would absolutely kill you. But it was frustrating because in some of them, you don't know where the British soldiers are, even though there's a little dot on your map. But you're trying to run to the next hideout, and next thing you know, you're found, and you have to start all over. I've started several sequences over and over again, so it's been a little frustrating.
Got you.
The only other thing I can say is the UI itself seems a little confusing, and it's very overwhelming. There's a lot of things that you can check out, database entry stuff that you can look into, and it just seems. I mean, it's cool looking, but it seems a little overwhelming. That being said, I still think it's beautiful. I'm getting up early in the morning so I can play at least a good hour of it just because I get that excited about all right, what's the next phase? What's the next phase? I'm super excited for what's to come. I know I'm so far behind, but it's beautiful and it's a lot of fun.
Have you done any nautical battles yet? Is that what you call that?
No, that happens later. In the first memory sequence, you do go on a ship, but you don't blow anything up. You're basically doing some side missions around within the ship and finding out if somebody's causing trouble or that kind of stuff. But no, I haven't done any of that. But I've heard that the ship sequences are brilliant. So I mean, I think there's a lot of love-hate going on with Assassin's Creed 3 with some mixed reviews. I mean, it's a big time. It's an A game. It's been highly anticipated. Everybody's not going to love it. Yeah. But I'm such a fan of the franchise anyway. I'm super excited.
And that's what's hard about games like that because your expectations already set so high. You know what I'm saying? It's not like when I went and saw freaking Rocky Balboa in the theater. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this is about to suck. And then I walked out and I was like, hey, that wasn't that bad. But if I would have gone in oh, snap, this is about to be Rocky Balboa. It's going to be awesome. I would have walked out super disappointed. And
right, so, exactly.
I
think a lot of people had higher expectations for this game than.
And they had so much hype at E3. I mean, at E3, the hype was just everywhere. That was what everybody was talking about. And I think a lot of people think that they missed the mark in some aspects of it. And, hopefully they'll take this and run with it for the next game. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It's all comes down to your style of gaming and what you love. And these are the kind of games that I love. And yeah, there's a few things here or there, but it's not going to prevent me from saying from not playing it. I'm still super excited and I can't wait to finish it in probably by February, maybe. Who knows?
I think Ubisoft's marketing marketing team succeeded. They wanted to get sales and they got sales. So it's what does it really matter how your game reviews if you were able to get enough people to buy it? Because there's still a lot of people out there that don't even read reviews.
Yeah, right. And your little
So,
Hall, I meant to say that link that you sent about the game journalist. That was a very interesting.
You want to save that for towards the end, or
sure, whatever you want.
About that now, or
no? I mean, It's completely up to you.
Did you each read that article, by the way?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Well, we might as well get into it.
Yeah, might as well. There was an image, and it just cracks me up because I think Gabe, have you heard anything about this? The Jeff Keighley Doritogate?
Educate me.
Yeah, what happened was I guess it was on his show. They were doing like a, I think it may have been on Game Trailers TV, I'm not sure, where they were doing like a Halo 4 premiere video or interview discussion or something like that. It was a sponsored event.
Okay.
And people were, all in outrage because they're thinking, well, Jeff Keighley, he's a games journalist, and he's taken money from, who knows, Mountain Dew or Microsoft or whatever to do this event.
Okay.
And it was kind of weird to me because I was like, who thinks of Jeff Keighley as a games journalist? Like, I just look at him more of like a show host, you know what I mean?
Sure. So what did that matter? Why were people upset?
Well, because he's in a position where he's giving people opinions on games. Whereas, if he were to accept money for Halo 4 and say Halo 4 was good, I mean, obviously there's a conflict of interest.
Oh,
there.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, it was kind of like a payola thing with radio stations, that kind of a deal. Like, why is he sitting there with a bunch of Doritos and Mountain Dew with him? And again, it proves my point that a lot of people are outraged about it, but you know what? He's a quote unquote video game journalist, and all of these reviewers, I'm sure a lot of them have hands in other people's pockets. It all comes down to your style of gaming. And what I got from that article was it could be any review. It doesn't matter. That's why there's demos available. That's why there's, social media available. So you can connect with other people that like the same kind of games as you do. And if somebody crucifies the game that you love, who cares? You enjoy it. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
And you go play Resident Evil 6 to your heart's content.
That's right. Exactly.
And that's why we have Metacritic too, so you can get an idea of what everybody thinks about it. Like, it's the same reason I like Rotten Tomatoes, because if there's a movie that comes out, I can get everybody's opinion on it and kind of make an assessment for myself. With Metacritic, it's the same thing where you can take a look at a game that you are interested in and kind of see what everybody thinks about it on the whole, Obviously, if you have people that are, one person that's 100 and everybody else is 50, right. Maybe they enjoyed the game more. Maybe they got payola. Who knows, Exactly. Everybody gets something.
Right.
I mean, some games journalists, they go on, I don't know, free trips to see games. You know what I mean?
Of course. I mean,
so it's like you're getting paid somehow. It's payola as well. It's just not cash.
Exactly. It's not cash in your pocket, but you're like, hey, come do this for free, and we'll show you this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're like, come join us in Hawaii on the beach and see our game.
Right. Any game's gonna feel better in Hawaii on the beach.
Exactly.
Since we're talking about, you guys are talking about Halo. We've talked a lot about Assassin's Creed. We know Black Ops is coming out next week, which I pre-ordered and I'm super excited about, which got leaked as well.
Of course.
And I understand. It's ridiculous. But it got me thinking, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Are there too many sequels? Like, is there not enough original content coming out for you guys? Or do you guys like the continuation of something that's working, it ain't broke, so don't fix it kind of thing?
I like continuation, but I think the reason there are, sequels coming out is just a money thing. Yeah, they know that there's not a whole lot of risk involved, especially if the prior game did good.
Right, right. Is there any games out there that you guys are like, man, this one needs a sequel? Like, have you ever come across a game, especially recently, that you're like, I would love to see a sequel to this game that maybe you haven't heard that's coming out yet?
That's a good question.
It is a good question.
I was thinking along the lines of like, I don't know if you guys didn't play it, I don't think, but there was a game called Heavy Rain.
Oh yeah,
that I thought was just
that's right.
Really, really cool. It's uber dark, but I like dark stuff. But I thought Heavy Rain was a great game, and I think they're getting, obviously that same company is doing, I think, Beyond Two Souls, And so, like, at least I'll get to see something from them, but it's not the same thing, you know.
And who knows? We might be seeing The Last of Us 2 down the road too.
Oh well, I hope so.
Yeah, if The Last of Us does
setting
well, I could see that continuing.
Gosh, I can't. When is that coming out? I cannot wait. Jeez.
I know. Look at the Uncharted series, though. I mean, look how great that makes. Total sense, because it's a game, it's a franchise that everybody loves. They like the character Nathan Drake, and you know, there will be an Uncharted 4, and I will be happy to buy it, and I will play it over and over again, because you become, it's like any book you read or any trilogy, any movie. You enjoy the characters, you want to dive deeper into what's going on, and that's a no-brainer.
I'm really
Right.
and I'm really excited for Uncharted 4. I'm really hoping that it's a PlayStation 4 title, so they can take advantage of the new hardware.
Right.
And also, too,
Oh yeah.
I think it's funny when I think about that game, because obviously with the next-gen console, they'll be wanting to breathe new life into it. So I just keep seeing Nathan Drake like in a village with a beard and long hair. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Like
They did the Max Payne a little bit.
Exactly. Like, it just I can see that being the direction they go in, and it's going to be hilarious when they do.
We will be seeing all kinds of bundles for that Uncharted 4 with a PS4. I mean, they'll be bundling that up. No problem.
Another one was I don't know if you guys played them, but it actually already got a sequel. But Infamous and Infamous 2, I thought were really good games, and I wouldn't mind seeing the trifecta of those.
I just downloaded Infamous 2 because PlayStation Plus had that for free a while ago. So I'm actually I'm looking forward to playing.
That's
those
a good one. I'd dive in.
I really need to play them. The funny thing is that I got both of them for free because I got number 1 back when the hack happened, and I got number 2 with Instant Game Collection. So
yeah, me too.
So it's like
Nice.
I haven't had to pay for Infamous.
Yeah, that's a good. I think those are really good games.
I can't wait to play them.
I just got to throw this in there real quick because I saw it and it made me excited, and it rejuvenated my spirit for this. But speaking of sequels, obviously we know there's another Star Wars coming out, and Harrison Ford said he might be up for, getting his Han Solo on, and I was like, all right, that's what I'm talking about. Because obviously Mark Hamill's gonna do it. Obviously, hopefully Carrie Fisher will do it. Because I mean, what are you doing? And
Nothing.
and so that's what you need, Harrison Ford. So if all 3 of those guys get on board, man, I'm like, okay, I'll see you a little bit, Disney. You know what I mean? I won't be too mad if you make a 7th.
I don't know, man. I think it's going to be like Star Wars, the geriatric series.
But that's the thing is,
I really do.
Is Episode 7, wasn't Episode 7 supposed to be like 30 or 40 years into the future? So we're getting close.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
we're close
true.
enough.
Exactly.
Okay,
And if we've learned anything from Liam Neeson, age ain't nothing but a number, baby.
Yeah, it's true.
Jean Valjean.
Exactly.
And here's my question: like, how long do Wookiees live? So, I mean, is Chewbacca going to still be? Is like Han and Chewie still going to be kicking it together?
They have to be. They have to be. Except he's all gray, like Chewie's all gray instead of brown.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
and instead of he's like,
Oh, dude, Han needs to have a huge beard and long hair.
yeah, I'm with you.
You try to give everybody the Jesus treatment.
Exactly.
It's like the Gandalf treatment. Sounds like.
Yeah, that's
No, see, how
That's
awesome
so
would that
awesome.
be? You open up and like it's Luke Skywalker or something practicing with his lightsaber, and he's got a giant beard and like long hair.
Yeah,
Perfect.
like they haven't been fighting in a long
tattoos.
time.
For some reason, I just got an image of the hobo from Happy Gilmore, so that's probably not a good one.
That's awesome.
And speaking of movies, Wreck-It Ralph, $49.1 million in the box office.
Yeah,
That's
man.
pretty awesome.
Thank you.
And I love that. I haven't seen it yet. I wasn't part of the 49 million. I'm sorry. But hey, outside of Pixar movies, that's the biggest opening weekend for a Disney animated film. That's crazy.
Awesome.
Biggest opening weekend.
Good.
So I was like, good. And one of my buddies went and saw it tonight, and he took his little girl and little boy, and he texted me in the middle of the movie. He goes, "You're going to love this on so many different levels." And I was like, yes,
awesome. Oh, good.
I can't wait to go see it.
I'm just glad there was attention put into it. So
Exactly. So I'm sorry. I had to get
And it sounds like they did it right, too.
Yeah, exactly. Good little story, great animation, great voice acting. John C. Reilly's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
So I can't wait for that to go.
speaking of John C. Reilly, have either of you guys seen
What's eating Gilbert Grape? Yeah, I saw that.
No, check it out with Dr. Steve Brule.
No, I didn't see that.
You need to see it.
Oh, I'll check it out.
Hey, Tim, DVR it on Adult Swim whenever it's on.
Okay.
It's John C. Reilly. It's hysterical.
Oh, of course it is. Of course it is. Timothy Hall, give us something else.
Well, I was going to say, keeping with the beards theme, I thought about this today. How long has it been since we've had a president with a big beard?
Have we ever?
We have in the past.
Well, back in like the 1800s.
But, I mean,
like,
not in our lifetime.
Why don't we have like ruffian presidents anymore? Come on, man.
Because we don't want tough guys. We want nice guys.
Whatever.
No, man. Yeah, I'd like to see a president with a beard throw down. I think it'd be great. By the way, happy election day, everybody.
Or belated election day.
The thing is, what I love this day. I get really excited because whoever you voted for, it's your God-given right.
That's right.
As an American to vote. It's what our soldiers are fighting for. I absolutely love it. I feel super patriotic. I think I put like 3 or 4 I voted stickers on Piper today while she was asleep. We went to the polls and she was sleeping the whole time. So I put an I voted sticker on her forehead, took a picture of it, and posted it on.
Just remember, vote.
Go ahead. Go ahead. What are you saying?
I was going to say, just remember, vote beards in 2016.
That's right.
We need to bring the beards back.
I sat around and watched...
Screw the economy. Screw everything else. We need beards.
I sat around and watched Independence Day all day just to stay in the spirit. I was like, That's right. Welcome to Earth. Anyway, I love it.
You said it wrong, man. It's Welcome to Earth.
I did say Earth.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
that's awesome.
With an F.
Yeah, that's good. Well, but I love this day. I think it's fun. But yes, you're right. We haven't had a long bearded president in quite some time. We'll have to look. I want to look that up and see who our last fully bearded president was.
That'd be awesome. So the PlayStation 4 specs were leaked, and it was a bunch of stuff I don't understand. So I hope it's going to be awesome.
Is that a confirmed link, or was that just like massive rumors?
I think there was some pretty solid stuff in there because the dev kit got out there.
Yeah, you got to think about it. Naughty Dog's probably got the PS4 dev kit.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, man.
Well, then Sony knows where to go to figure out who put the leak out.
Yeah. They don't care. It doesn't.
Yeah,
matter.
That just creates hype, man. That's a good thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And they better make it out first. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
I think for Sony to do well, they've got to come out first.
I can almost guarantee you that the Xbox and PlayStation 4 dev kits are going to be almost the same. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I mean, so?
Because developers don't want to have 2 different teams working on 2 different versions. They want to have something more streamlined.
Yeah, sure.
Kind of like iOS and Android. Yeah, I'm with you. I think that would be a tremendous pain. Like if there's a little more congruency with everything and everything, like it's kind of like web languages for me. Like with PHP, it's a language that there's a particular language, and then Windows has their ASP. They're kind of the same structure, but they just do things differently.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of developers that know both. So if that comes along, I think that makes so much more sense, and we'll probably see an explosion of so much better gaming quality and just more functionality. Because if that happens, I doubt it'll ever happen because everyone wants to keep their secrets from everyone else.
We would see better quality multi-platform titles because developers would have to, like, they would use less resources where they didn't need to be used. Right now, they have 2 different teams working on a PS3 version and an Xbox version, whereas there was a more streamlined hardware system. They could have all of those developers working on the one version and then just kind of make the subtle changes right at the end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Of course. Yeah. Make a lot more sense.
Yep.
Also, you can go get your hands on the Wii U nowadays.
Yeah.
They released 5,000 of them across, GameStop, Toys R Us, Walmart, and Best Buy. So go get your hands on a Wii U.
That'll be interesting. I'm very curious to see how that pans out.
I'm not.
Man, we're just dogging Nintendo today.
Poor Nintendo.
I honestly...
We love you, Reggie.
when the new PlayStation and the new Xbox hit, people aren't even going to care. I don't think.
I think you're right, though.
I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. I think the Wii U came late to the party because there's already talk of next gen consoles, and they're coming out with this one now.
Well, they're trying to be first, and if you look at the Wii U hardware, it looks like it could probably run multi-platform titles better than the current PS3 and the Xbox, which are old.
Yeah, but barely.
Yeah, so I think the Wii U's right for now until the end of next year is going to have the best console multi-platform versions of games.
Well, do you think that's more hardware based or software based? I mean, the hardware probably
supports everything that they're wanting to do. 30 frames, no drops, and anti-aliasing.
Yeah,
I guarantee you the Wii U hardware will support that stuff.
Yeah, it'll definitely be smooth.
They got to come out with a different controller, though, man. That's not a hardcore gaming controller.
Don't they have the Wii U Pro controller? Like the $50
but
one?
That don't come with the John. You know what I'm saying? They don't even come with the system. You gotta go get that.
Oh well, yeah, you gotta get it separately. Yeah, so not everybody's gonna have that. Yeah, that's gonna be fragmentation.
Yeah, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, whatever. I gave up on Nintendo a long time ago.
No, don't give up. You can't never give up on Mario.
I didn't give up on Mario. I gave up on Nintendo. I'll play Mario. I just won't play Nintendo.
Oh shoot. So a little stuff. PS Plus. I think you can get. Have you guys looked at PlayStation Network? Is it totally different?
No, I've been meaning to check that out. I heard about it.
So that's supposed to be revamped.
What, they changed the interface?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But mine's, like I said, mine's on a bus to Ontario, California right now, so I won't be checking it out. Resident Evil 5 is free for PS Plus users. And so,
go get that, man. That's your favorite series.
Hey, I heard 5's better than 6.
all you.
So.
Yeah, 5's supposed to be better.
Yeah, I'm actually probably going to grab that.
Dude, we should play a co-op.
There you go.
There you go.
I like that.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, Black Ops 2 is coming out next week, which is going to probably put Taylor Swift's album to shame, even though she sold a grip of albums in her first week. But
nice. So you're saying that the surge of Black Ops 2 is going to bring down Taylor Swift? Are you saying that's the same customer?
I'm saying that it has to be somewhere along the line. The same customer is going to be never, ever, ever getting back together with somebody and shooting somebody in the head next week. So it's gonna be amazing.
That's awesome.
And Mortal Kombat's getting a reboot in theaters. I think it's a bad idea.
Oh Lord, we were just talking about that too. It's like, oh come on,
Warner Brothers, come on, man, don't do it.
It's got to be better than the first one, man.
Yeah, but why even do it? Hey, Warner Brothers, I'm trying to warn a brother right now. Don't do Mortal Kombat.
Nice.
So anyway, y'all got anything else before we get up out of here?
I think I'm good.
I got one more thing. I hate to say it, boys, but Future US confirmed today it will end production of PlayStation, the official magazine.
What?
Its last issue is slated for holiday 2012, and so they are basically the print side of PlayStation, the official magazine, will be done. And I also heard that Nintendo Power will be closing as well.
Oh no, that closed a while ago.
So you mean?
But I think like they
announced it.
Yeah.
They announced it a while ago. I guess December is their last month or something.
I think December's the end of print for both.
So you mean to tell me that they still make a PlayStation 2 games, but they not gonna give me the magazine no more? That's ridiculous.
Well, hey, to add to that, Pro Evolution Soccer 2013 came out actually today. I saw it in the new release schedule. It came out for Wii, PSP, and PS2.
Nice. So if I don't get my magazine, I'm not going to know these things anymore.
Thank you. How am I going to get my PS2 news?
Dude,
my gift to you.
Magazines, it's been the writing on the wall, man. When you see babies playing with iPads and they pick up a magazine, they're trying to like swipe stuff on it. You know magazines are done. So
Absolutely.
I literally, this is a little embarrassing. I literally did that on my wife's laptop the other day. Like I was typing, because I have a case where I like open my iPad and there's a keyboard right there. I've gotten so used to like typing on a keyboard and then touching the screen. And I literally touched my wife's MacBook Pro screen the other day on her laptop. And I was like, what am I doing? Goodness gracious.
See,
yeah, see, it's ingrained in your head.
You've proven it. I think Tim was onto something when he got the digital version of @Gamer magazine.
That's right.
He saw the writing on the wall.
Keep him alive. I know.
I am thinking ahead, people, to the future.
Yeah, all them digital coupons.
That's hilarious.
Yep.
Well, man, let's get up out of here. We are Married to the Games. Please check us out, marriedtothegames.com. Subscribe on Stitcher. Rate us on iTunes. Holler at us. Mailbag at marriedtothegames.com. You can follow us on Twitter. You could catch us on Facebook. We're trying to cover all our bases, man, so keep hollering at us. And we really appreciate you guys listening. We really, really do. For Gabe Patillo, for Timothy Hall, for Tim Router, we about this thing. Peace.